Good morning, it's Barbara. 74.8 degrees and 39% humidity. It is stunning out there. Absolutely stunning. I'll be out, needless to say. And look at these. These are peaches from our tree. The wasps has started to find them, so they're starting to ripen, and we grabbed a few before. Whoever takes them all takes the rest. We shall see if we have any on the tree today. One of these days that tree's going to be empty, and in another week that pepper's going to be red. I'm very excited about that too. Good morning. It's like you're my first mirror. You're not. I did comb my hair. It's Barbara. Thank you for joining me for coffee. Dennis made me a cappuccino. It is so beautiful out here. I do feel really blessed by the weather. And it does help me. It really does help me. Good morning. It's Barbara. So it's Thursday. I feel like it's a little bit of a vacation day. I do not have any appointments or plans. Kim is visiting her mom today. My physical therapy is tomorrow. Oh, I have an early doctor's appointment, so I may not be doing a vlog tomorrow. So if I don't worry. But today, I have no appointments. No plans other than to walk the dog and make crackers. Maybe I'll fill out that form I have to fill out, and I might make a phone call. Those are really the only two things left on my to-do list. And, you know, crossing everything off that to-do list would feel really good. So maybe I'll do those. I can make a phone call out on the deck. That's the nice thing about modern technology. You can make your phone calls anywhere. I can remember it was in a house. It was in the house that my ex and I lived in when the kids were born. And I do not know what I was doing. Now, we moved out of that house in 1982, I think. So we're talking 43 years ago. And so in the late 70s, early 80s, I was doing something and I had to like be on the phone. And I was so happy to have one of those phones. I don't remember, slimline phones, or I don't remember what they're called. But the push buttons were on the headset. So it was like you pull it off the wall and you've got it all in your hand, right? And I had a really long cord. This was before cordless phones. And I was so happy to have those buttons in my hand because I had to keep, you know, it was like, I don't know, I was calling somebody and I had to keep dialing, or I had to put information in, although it feels like it was early for putting information in from your phone, but I'm not sure. Anyway, I was so happy to have those buttons on that so I could go sit in the dining room because my phone would reach the dining room chairs. Technology has changed. Of course, I'm old enough to remember when in the United States, you didn't even own your phone. You had to get your phone from the phone company. And yeah, you know, that's how old I am. That's how old I am. That, you know, aftermarket phones were not a thing. You couldn't use a phone that wasn't sold to you by the phone company. And by the phone company, I guess, Bell Telephone. I guess it was Bell Telephone, because then they had to break up the telephone company and it turned into AT&T plus the local phone companies, which I don't even know if those are local phone companies are even in business now. Everything has changed. Oh, I told you this story when I was in high school. We were living in State College, Pennsylvania, which is where Penn State is located. And my parents both taught there. And, you know, I was a teenager and I wanted my own phone. So I had my own phone number, and I worked and I paid for it. But then we moved out into the country, into the farm, where my brother now lives. And I was a junior in high school when we moved out there. And so I wanted to, you know, take my phone, you know, my parents took their phone, I took my phone. We went out into the country. This is in 1970, 71. So now we're talking ancient history. And out in the country, we had a party line. And for those of you who are not in the know, a party line means that there was one phone line for 4 households. And so if you picked up the phone, you had to listen to see if somebody was already talking from another house and put the phone down and wait till they hung up. So we moved out in the country and I moved my phone, and so my house phone and my phone were on a party line together. I canceled my phone. I don't remember how long we had those party lines. I'm old. Boy, that makes me feel old. Party line. I can remember when I was very young. When we were living, I can picture the house. We were living in Patterson, California. So this is, you know, I was born in California. I'm a California girl. And I can remember picking up the phone and like saying something or whatever, you know, because we had a party line in town when I was a kid. And I could see the neighbors because they were talking to each other. My next door neighbor and the woman across the street, they both went out to see if the lines were crossed. Because apparently when the phone lines would cross, that could, you know, like, you know, the calls would get mixed up. I don't even know, but it was just me spoofing them on the phone. But anyway, party lines, holy shit. And handheld and corded phones. Oh my gosh. So anyway, it will be nice to be able to sit out here with my non-corded phone and make my phone call. There is some pounding and stuff going on next door, but that shouldn't disturb what I'm doing. But it is really beautiful out here. Really beautiful. So I am feeling better. Thank you all for your concern and your good wishes. I am feeling better. If I got those last 2 things done, I'd feel even better. See, it's all in my own control. But I'm still not doing anything in the evenings. I'm still just vegging. I'm listening to these stupid stories from YouTube. Really stupid stories. They're AI generated and they're internally inconsistent, but I'm still listening to them. Little revenge stories. A lot of them are revenge stories. I don't think Dennis isn't thrilled with me and my revenge stories. I'm pretty sure he has opinions that he's not expressing. And I've sort of, you know, like expressed them for him in my brain as he walks in and listens. I used to mute them, but now I got my earbuds. You can't hear them. But I'm feeling better about listening to these stupid stories. You know, it's just I'm killing time. I'm just vegging. I'm not engaging my brain other than I'm sitting there saying, wait a minute, you said it was your sister and now you're telling me it's your daughter-in-law, you know, kind of stuff. But I started to realize, you know, Dennis is in his office on his computer while I'm listening to these stories in the living room. And he's playing his computer games. He's playing, you know, and sometimes he's playing Civilization, which, you know, I've played a very much earlier version of Civilization, and it's very addictive. But in the end, I found it very unsatisfying because, you know, I'd be play, and then I'm like, I've got to go to bed. And when I'm done, I'm like, what a waste of my time. So I consider him wasting his time just as much as I'm wasting my time. It makes me feel better. I don't discuss it with him, though. I mean, he hasn't voiced his opinion. I'm just projecting. It's very possible I'm just projecting on him and he has no opinion, but I don't believe it. I believe he has an opinion. Anyway. But he loves me. He's like, okay, fine. Whatever you need. So I do feel like I'm wasting my time a lot, but I just apparently need to do that. I finished the last 2 episodes of Ted Lasso last night. The end of season 3. But there's a season 4 coming, which makes me smile. And, you know, but I won't be able to see it for a while. I mean, you know, they're going to put it on Apple TV for a while. And then, you know, by the time they put it on a DVD for me to buy it, it's going to be a while. But just knowing it's coming makes me smile. But I did that last night and listened to my stories. Yeah. Today I'm making crackers. The good crackers are getting very low. Dennis finished off the crummy crackers. The crackers really need the butter. You make the cracker and then you put butter on top of them before you dehydrate them. Apparently the butter is important. Of course, I really like the crackers when they come out being made with Dennis's homemade cream cheese better than commercial cream cheese. So it's nice to have options. And I have Dennis's cream cheese available. So that's what I'll be using today. I just watered the flowers. I did not water them yesterday. I feel like such a jerk. Other than this one, and I don't remember the name of it. This one in the pink is blooming like crazy and it looks great. And it's a beautiful plant. I really like those. I keep buying them. I buy them like at the grocery store. Wegmans has them every spring. And I buy a new one every spring. I wonder if I could bring that in the house. Dennis is planning on bringing the peppers in the house. I could bring that in the house, see how it does. Maybe I'll have it for next year. It's blooming and it looks good. But the others, you can see. I think I'm going to come out here. Let's see. I'm talking. Whether I do it or not, who knows. Out here with some scissors and deadhead these things, and that might help them a little bit. That's what I'm thinking. Oh, one thing I have to do today is clear off my phone, because pretty soon I'm not going to be able to talk to you. My phone's getting full. And I don't have a small memory on this phone. But, you know, you do a 15-minute video every day. It starts to fill up your phone, you know? So anyway, I watered. And I plan to be out here today as much as possible. Yeah, I might even open up the house. Unless it gets a little too warm. But it's nice to have fresh air, you know. Unfortunately, our clothesline is down. It's been down for 6 weeks at least or something. We had a lot of damage. Not a lot. We had wind damage a couple of times where big limbs came down and one of them took out our clothesline. I want to do the sheets today, but there's no clothesline to hang them on, which makes me sad. But, you know, what are you going to do? I did, on the way home from visiting Aura. Oh, I didn't tell you about my visit with Aura. It was a pretty good visit. You know, we haven't had great visits. Now, she's not happy, you know, so everything's relative, a good visit. She's not happy, but she was animated and energetic yesterday. So that was good. And she ate her lunch. So that was good. It was a fish patty. You know, like a giant fish stick. She loves. So she ate it, which was good. And turned out they had watermelon for lunch. Loved the watermelon. I mean, I had to get the knife and fork on that watermelon to cut every last pink part off. All was left was the white and the green. I mean, every smidgen of pink came off of that watermelon so she could eat it. Because she really enjoyed that. So we may be buying some watermelon just to bring something that makes her smile. And then we went outside because it was so gorgeous. We sat outside for a while and I showed her my pictures on my phone and talked, and then she fell asleep. And I let her sleep for a little while outside, and then it was time to go in. She's not that comfortable in the wheelchair that she's in, so they were going to put her back in bed. So I left, but it was a very nice visit. I mean, you know, she's not happy, but she smiled. I took a selfie. I said, smile, and she smiled. And she, you know, spent an hour and a half with me not thinking about how miserable she is. So it felt like, you know, a little bit of a victory. Now, I don't know where I was going. That reminded me that I hadn't told you about my visit with Aura. So, wherever it was, maybe it'll come back to me. I don't know. But, yeah. Anyway, it is cloudy, mostly cloudy, but a little bit of blue, which is why I'm not really in the sun at the moment. The house isn't blinding me. I never did find those sunglasses. But yeah. Tomorrow I have this doctor's appointment in the morning, and then I have my physical therapy at 1, so it's going to be a bit hectic for me tomorrow, so I may not do a vlog. But we shall see. If I got up early, I could. But will I do that? I don't know. I may not. You'll forgive me for that. So meanwhile, yeah, I guess I'm going to go. Not much more to say. And, yeah, but thank you again for your support. I really, really appreciate it. And I am feeling better. I am feeling better. Some things are a little bit in my control. Now, not everything, you know. It was a bad month. Very tough month for me. But, yeah. Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit better. Thought I heard the hummingbird, but I don't think I did. I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for your company. Please take good care of yourselves. Please, please, please stay safe and stay sane.